From the Clark Ford Studio in Oxford, Mississippi, MBW Digital proudly presents the Oxford Exxon Podcast.
I'd say thanks for tuning in, but why am I going to give you a round of applause for something that you're supposed to do, to be frank?
And now, here are your hosts, Chase Parham.
And broadcast school has really paid off.
And Neal McCready.
I deserve to be on TV.
Tuesday edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal McCready, Clark Ford Studio. Today, frankly, I don't know what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about it in a minute. Also, remind you that we will be in Jackson tonight for our live show as a part of the M Club reception there in Jackson at the Westin. The event's 5 to 7. We will take the stage around 6 o'clock. Kermit Davis doing the first portion of the show, Mike Espy doing the second half of the show or so. Mike, former Ole Miss wide receiver, also was recruited by Mike McIntyre, so we'll discuss Mac. We'll go through a lot of stuff, have some good times with you. We'll have some Dead Soxy giveaways. We'll have some koozies. We'll have some different items ready for you there as well. So come on out to the Westin tonight.
It's going
to be lit. Is that the word? Going to be lit. There's a cash bar. There is free hors d'oeuvres. And there's Mr. McCready's bald head. So that's what we have tonight at the Westin tonight at 6 o'clock.
That was not necessary.
I was just saying.
That was not necessary.
Well, you did not really ask my permission to give away a hair rub tonight. So,
well,
just
that's
saying.
a good point. That's fair.
Just saying.
That's fair.
Usually it's the bald heads that want to get rubbed, aren't they?
No.
Oh, you don't think so? You think they'd rather run their fingers through my hair than rub your bald head?
Unfortunately, that is my experience.
Is it?
Yes.
You can't really find a positive for the bald head, can you?
There's not one.
The
only one that there is.
You don't pay for haircuts.
Is I take Carson to get his hair cut every 3 days. Every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks. And that haircut, and Regina does his hair, and she's fantastic, and she does a great job.
Okay.
He's very pleased with it.
Okay.
And by the time
is he persnickety about his hair?
Yes.
Okay.
And by the time I get through tipping her, usually, it's around $40.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Really?
So I do save that.
I pay a $20 bill every time.
And there is a certain pleasure in shaving your head. It's there's a pleasure to it.
Do you ever go into a barber shop and let them straight razor your head or anything?
No. Now, there's a place in New Orleans that is like famous for shaves.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I've thought about going there and saying,
let them do the whole deal.
Do the whole shooting match because it supposedly just feels fantastic. But no.
Anything above the neck, take it off, basically.
Basically.
Okay.
There's a lot of people out there going, yes. If it's above the neck, just chop it off.
Yes.
Let's get over this. Yeah. So, but no, I don't. My experience has been that females likely prefer to run their fingers through hair as
rather than a bald head.
Rubbing a bald head. Yes.
Fair enough. Remind me tonight, just say, hey, idiot, hit the record button. Because the last couple shows at Funky's, I was like 45 seconds late on the record button. I'd look down and go, oh, I'm not recording. And I would forget. So at some point, make sure I've hit the record button tonight. That would be good.
I will attempt to do that.
Yeah, that would help.
I will effort to remember that.
Hopefully everything's going off without a hitch, so we'll see. But we'll see you tonight. Again, that will be the recorded show for tomorrow, so you're not missing anything except for our pretty faces and the alcohol and the hors d'oeuvres and the Kermit Davis and the whole deal. So otherwise, you get the show tomorrow. So anyway, again, 6 o'clock tonight at the Westin and the Oxford Exxon located here in Oxford on the way out of town. If you're headed to Jackson tonight, if you want to follow with us, caravan, if you will, stop and get some fuel, clean convenience stores, lunch specials that are $4.99, and much, much more there at the Oxford Exxon Speed Pass Plus app, mobile rewards program as well, next door at the Oxford Crystal. It's pretty chilly outside, but you could get a maple bourbon shake as well. So plenty of options there on Highway 6 West. And again, coming to you from the Clark Ford studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900, 662-257-1900. Call that number. Ask for our friend Corey Clark. Tell Corey what new Ford you are looking for, and he will send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours, of course. I mean, if you call him at 1 in the morning, you're not going to get it at 1:15. But if you call him at 9 in the morning, you'll get it at 9:15. You take that quote and it's up to you. You can shop it around, or you can go ahead and let Corey and the people at Clark Ford do for you what they've done for me and so many others, and that's take the hassle out of the everyday car buying experience. It's simple. It's right to the bottom line. There's no haggling, no hassle. And on top of that, you get kind of the Clark Ford experience, which is Corey wants to be your truck guy. He wants to be your car guy, and he'll prove it to you. Delivery options, great service, all of those things. It's a great I've been doing business with Corey on a personal level now for more than a year, and it's awesome. So you'll enjoy it too, and make it even better. Tell Corey that you heard about Clark Ford on the podcast. Mention any of our family of podcasts, and you'll save $500 off the bottom line. Clark Ford and Amory, 662-257-1900.
Our intern tree continues to improve, if you will. Congratulations to Chandler Morgan, who did our video stuff with us a couple years ago. She started her broadcast career in the Columbus, Georgia, East Alabama area. Saw on Facebook last night she has now accepted an on-air position in Charlotte, North Carolina. So moving on up, that's a top 25 media market at 23, 24 years old. You know,
I'd like to take this opportunity to pat myself on the back.
Would you?
Yeah. We took this girl, really no ambition, no discernible talent, didn't know how to dress, just was a complete disaster.
With our wealth of broadcast experience.
And we took her under our wing, and in the course of 4 months, we turned her into a polished, top 25 market journalist.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, good for us. How about that? Send your congratulations to my email, to Chase's email. At some point, maybe we'll pass it along to Chandler. But really, the credit goes here, right here in the Clark Ford Studios. What we do, in addition to producing this Potato Log podcast every day, is we build journalism careers.
Mold young
Broadcast
minds.
Journalism careers.
Yes.
Our intern tree is something else. Look what we did for Jeffrey Wright.
What I was about to say is I had to put a disclaimer on it because I was texting Jeffrey and a couple other buddies about Chandler last night, and I was like, our number one intern. I was like, oh, he's gonna get pissed. I was like, present company excluded.
Yeah, because he was like, F you.
So, no, I told Neil Chandler is the most organized human I've ever met. That from the first time she stepped in, he was like, "Oh, this is what could be possible. This is the thing, really? Okay,
It was more like,
you're different than the other ones that I've dealt with.
You want to work with us? Why?"
And to her credit, first time she goes, "Look, I'm not doing sports. I'm going into news, but I just want to have some sports on my resume to say I've done it." Deal. Okay, and it worked for everybody. So. I doubt that little line on the resume got her the gig, but probably did help in some ways. It did some things. But no, she
rounded out her resume.
She is incredibly talented. She's very good. So congratulations to Chandler.
Very diligent.
She also takes our jokes well, so that's another positive too. She will laugh and move
she'll
on with
laugh
her
at
day.
the tweet this morning, and if she hears this, she'll get a good chuckle.
Yeah. So anyway, congratulations to Chandler.
Glad we can build careers. That's what we do.
So anyway,
I mean, even in the last year, Ole Miss has let us come talk to people.
I guess they certified that, right?
I'm not sure.
Like I said, we did have to get escorted around the building the last
Somebody
time.
right now is going, wait, what?
Yeah.
What happened?
You let those guys talk?
We sent a message to McCready. Did he not get it?
I actually got
it, but
got one more. Never mind.
Things change.
Things change.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
You got another message about us?
Do I? Oh no, I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
Not on the show. It's not bad. I thought I was going to tell you a minute ago because you brought up a name, and I thought, I've got something I want to tell you about that, and then I forgot. So we've started here. Right. It's nothing about Nakobe Dean or anything, ladies and
gentlemen.
In
an hour, we'll never know.
Yeah. So anyway. Speaking of, Ole Miss doing in-home with Nakobe Dean tonight, getting their last shot at him prior to the early signing period.
I would assume Mike McIntyre is going to be there?
I think that's right. Yeah, Mac was officially announced yesterday. I'm assuming the good news with him is that there really was no red tape because he was already certified with the NCAA and everything, so you can just move right in and get going. You don't have to pass the test or anything like that again. I think he will be there tonight. They get the last crack. Kirby Smart was at the Horn Lake Parade last night for their 6A state championship. Or I guess it was I don't know if it was the Horn Lake Christmas Parade that just had them in it, or was their parade. But either way, he was at a parade that he was at a parade involving Nakobe Dean last night. Dean has said he will sign with SEC school. He has been kind of coy even about his final list at this point, but he did say a decision would become public this week. So that is where the 5-star linebacker from Horn Lake sits currently.
I know I shouldn't do what I'm about to do, but I'm going to ask you a question that's going to piss a bunch of people off.
Do I have the ability to answer this question?
I think you do. Are we at liberty to say what Russell told us last night, who his final 3 is?
I'll be honest. I trust Russell completely. I'm a little scared of that final 3 for some things I know.
Yeah, I am.
That is why I'm a little. I don't think we're off the record per se, but I'm hesitant on that simply for my working knowledge of the overall recruiting landscape, if you will.
Yes, it's the one thing that where people come after Russell when he misses one, it makes me mad because dude works his off on this stuff. I mean, if you guys had any idea, Chase and I now have had to tell him twice, once in person in a sit-down, you're working too much. And we meant it. You have to stop. Dude works around the clock. He does not stop. It's obsessive. He's very good at it. No one is going to hit 100% on football recruiting. If you've ever covered football recruiting, you know that. If you've never covered football recruiting and you're just hanging on every word, understand that you get stuff from different sources and you have to piece it together. And frequently the kids lie to you, for lack of a better word. Handlers are absolutely insane. Those are the sickest people on the face of the planet. Understand that. Those people are disgusting human beings. And you have to deal with them because they often hold the keys to the kids' recruiting. And they're gross. So you're not going to hit 100 or 1,000, I should say. You might hit 100. You're not going to hit 1,000.
I'm not going to say employed hitting 100, but
Russell hits in the 900s.
Yeah, Russell does everything he's capable of doing from a work ethic standpoint, from a talking to people standpoint. The one place where Russell's simply going to get better the longer he does this is just having a better understanding of the SEC, of Mississippi, of the South, all those things that when you mention a kid to me, I can know nothing about that kid but kind of go, okay, well, here's what I think, and have a decent idea just because I understand the dynamics and play around the area.
And Russell's only been down here for, what, 3 years? 2 years?
No, not even. Hadn't been down here more than,
and so
a year and a half.
There's no way that someone who spent most of his formative years in Ohio can truly understand all of the dynamics that go into play in these decisions frequently down here without living down here, without sort of going through it and getting that experience. And so, frankly, I think that's one of the reasons that he missed on Charles Cross. And it's one of the reasons that I think he is potentially missing one of the schools on Nakobe Dean. Mm-hmm. Now, his information that has Dean in his real mind down to 3 is legit, straight-up information. But today's December the 11th. The signing day is the 19th.
Got a week.
Got a week and a day. And
this does change the dynamic so much, though, with this early signing period, because without this son of a gun, we wouldn't even be getting started yet. Like, the crap wouldn't even get anywhere near anything right now.
No. Final bids would not have been asked for yet.
Also far, just been like that first paddle that goes up in the auction that just kind of gets the process moving to make the auctioneer happy.
Yeah, where they've planted someone out there to go, hey, you know, to bid.
We're going to start the bid at $500. Throw a paddle up.
There's John. Thanks, John. John's not buying. He just got things.
We got
moving.
$5, now $550. Now $5. Here we go.
There we go. We're a little further along in the process right now. It's 8 days. He's going to sign. He's an early enrollee. I know there's a lot of Ole Miss optimism that has been building over the course of the past few weeks. I'm trying to think of the word I want to use here. I'm cautiously skeptical.
the whole time, this has had a weird feel to it. I didn't really think we were doing a recruiting podcast. We'll do it for a little while. I asked you on the show multiple times, but it's okay to reiterate. We tell the same stories over and over and over again. It's weird that, to me at least, I never got that home state feeling that there was going to be this major push late. And I don't know why. I have that with almost every in-state kid when it comes to Ole Miss or State. And even if they don't get them, there's this real push late where the home thing kicks in because Mississippi kids like staying home. That's not a secret.
Sure.
And for the most part, they've done a pretty good job, being Dan Mullen and Hugh Freeze, of keeping guys home over the most part of the last half decade or so. And that's not a shot against Moorhead and Luke. They just hadn't got they don't have a sample size yet.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, they've kept guys home. With Dean, I'm not saying he's not signed with Ole Miss. I don't know. I haven't covered his recruiting for a day. Literally nothing.
Neither one of us.
I have not made a call. I know nothing. Literally nothing.
Neither one of us have ever talked to Nakobe Dean.
But just gut feeling, he's felt different from the standpoint of kind of brushing it off and going, whatever. Let it play out and it'll be all right. I don't know. Maybe some of that is because he never even thought about Mississippi State, so you didn't have that head-to-head element here at all. It was always just Ole Miss trying to keep him home, and Alabama and Georgia, and then LSU at some point. And
it's like State sort of signed off on this, it felt like, a long time ago, and then I think he visited State last weekend.
Did he? I don't know.
I can't. We've let Russell cover recruiting. Well, can you imagine last week if we were trying to keep up with recruiting and that coordinator thing, the way that it was unfolding?
We wouldn't have kept up with recruiting.
We just would have dropped it.
Yeah. See you Monday.
I don't know. I've always felt like Georgia was very much in play. I've always felt like Alabama was very much in play. I can tell you that over the weekend, Alabama felt it was very much in play. And when I hear that, I'm always a little alarmed. Is what it is. He would be huge for Ole Miss. What he would mean, God, I hate to do this to a kid. I don't think it's fair, but I'll do it anyway. It is what it is. What he would mean from an excitement standpoint for a fan base. What he would mean from a recruiting victory for Matt Luke, for Mike McIntyre, is really difficult to put into words. It's huge. I won't do with Nakobe Dean what I did with Cam Akers, where I said I thought Hugh Freeze had to get Cam Akers, and he didn't. And something else brought him down. I get it, but I thought Hugh Freeze had to get Cam Akers. I think he needed to have momentum. He needed to land that in-state offensive player. And when he didn't do it, I wrote, and it made a lot of people mad, but it was true that it was a monumental loss. And it was. Whether Akers turns out to be a star or not, it's the perception. Losing Nakobe Dean, and if they combine that with losing Brandon Turnage, losing two kids from North Mississippi who could help you on that side of the ball pretty much instantly, losing them to Alabama, Georgia, those type programs, is a blow. Period. I'm not saying it's a catastrophic blow, but it's a blow. In the same way that flipping them, or in this case, getting Dean and potentially flipping Turnage sends a message through your fan base that, hey, we're on our way back. And I think that's very important going into next season, because I have a very strong opinion about what next season is, how it should be judged, and it's easier to do that if you're landing recruits.
It's a pretty good segue into the next thing I want to talk about. Before we do that, I will tell you the podcast is brought to you in part by Community Mortgage, Oxford, Memphis, Soto County, and Chattanooga. Underwriting and processing is done in Memphis for you. Local underwriting that understands your market, a leader in condo financing and the float down option. You can find Jason Lowe at 662-234-2704 or JLowe, that's JLOWE, at communitymtg.com.
Guests will join us, actually tonight, they'll join us on the Patterson and Earhart Attorneys at Law hotline.
Well, they're in person.
Yeah, but they'll still be on a hotline. We'll record it kind of on a hotline. We'll record it. Just play along, Chase.
Okay.
someone's going to come and grope your hair and just get over it. I promise that. We'll see what happens. Patterson and Earhart specialize in personal injury law and real estate law, but theirs is a general practice that can handle any of your legal needs. When you contact Patterson and Earhart, you speak to one of the partners in the firm, and that's who will handle your case, not some paralegal at a faceless corporate firm. If Patterson and Earhart can't help you, they'll refer you to someone who can. John, Calvin Patterson, and Wes Earhart are Ole Miss guys. They're local guys, and when you call them, you're going to get one of them on the phone within the same day, guaranteed. So whether you've been injured in a car wreck or have other legal issues, give them a call, 662-526-1992, or check out their website, pelaws.com. Your initial consultation is free. I'd like to welcome the newest sponsor to our podcast. It's Home to Suites in South Lamar Court in Oxford. It's open and ready to accommodate your personal or business needs just in time for the holidays. Located at 101 South Lamar Court in Oxford at the intersection of Belk Boulevard and South Lamar Avenue, this Hilton property is locally owned and operated by Ole Miss alumni and is just 1 mile from campus and 1.5 miles from the square. If your house is booked for the holidays, send your loved ones to stay with the wonderful staff at Home to Suites, and they will feel right at home in this all-suites property. Each spacious suite has a living area with a sleeper sofa and a fully equipped kitchen. Guests have access to a complimentary breakfast each morning with more than 400 combinations to suit any palate, a fully equipped fitness center, a free laundry facility, free Wi-Fi, free parking, and much, much more. Extended rate stays are available, and Hilton Honors points can be earned for stays and redeemed for bookings. In addition, the 625-square-foot meeting room is available for rentals and comes with all you need for the perfect boardroom meeting, classroom-style presentation, or catered meal. For more information, call 662-238-3400 or visit home2oxford.home2suitesbyhilton.com. Home to Suites is on Twitter at Home2OxfordMS and on Instagram at Home2SuitesOxfordMS. Home to Suites Oxford, we are your home too. Socks make great stocking stuffers, and Dead Soxy is your stocking stuffer solution. 'Tis the season of giving, and Dead Soxy wants to give back to the Rebel Grove community for all its support. For a limited time, they've increased the promo code from 25% to 35% off. The deal is live right now on the site. This is a limited time offer only available to Rebel Grove subscribers and podcast listeners. The ad will not last, so take advantage of this holiday offering before it goes. The code may not apply to items already on sale, but is available for all remaining products, including the limited edition Rebel socks. So whether you're giving your family, your friends, or yourself a gift, give something they'll look forward to wearing over and over again. Everyone needs to experience the difference a quality sock makes. So go to deadsoxy.com, enter the code Rebel Grove at checkout to receive 35% off and free shipping on orders over $25.
Good job. I'm impressed. Real quick, podcast also brought to you by G&M Pharmacy. You don't have to waste your time with the big chains. Go somewhere you're appreciated with G&M Pharmacy. It's locally owned and operated. They take care of their customers. They've been an Oxford trusted hometown pharmacy for 40 years and offer many great services such as MedSync, immunizations, and free delivery to your home or workplace. And they're conveniently located right off South Lamar Boulevard right here in Oxford, close to the Home to Suites. Transferring your medications is simple. Just give them a call. It's 236-2222. They'll take care of the rest. So I'm going to steal a mailbag question here.
Okay.
But it's on the topics. That's where I'm going.
All right.
I looked through. I was actually going to steal a couple simply because I usually do that on Wednesdays after you've answered it, but we're not going to have a Wednesday show in the traditional vein. So it's
Fair
okay
enough.
though. You got a lot of questions. You'll live.
Fair enough.
Some debate on the board came from a poster yesterday, and then made it the way into your mailbag about whether signing Nakobe Dean would have a greater than or less impact than Robert Nkemdiche in 2013.
Ooh.
My gut reaction to this was, oh, wow, no, Robert. He was number one in the country. He was all these things, everything. Because we're talking about play on the field. We're talking about simply recruiting reaction.
Yeah, I already have an answer formulating in my head.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But as I thought about it more, and I'm kind of hedging a little bit, but I still have a point.
Okay.
I think because of when it happened, the actual bigger commit was Laquan Treadwell.
Yes.
But I think
You're stealing my damn answer.
just kind of the national knowing of what Robert's going to do, because even though I don't care if he committed to Clemson, it was the worst kept secret in the world. He was playing with his brother.
Yes, when I sat down with Beverly Nkemdiche.
Yeah, she said
that November day in 2000. What was that? 12. When I sat down with him on that, with her on that
was more
day,
than 6 years ago.
I know, isn't that unbelievable?
Y'all were in a coffee shop in Atlanta.
It was the night after the Thunder had opened their season against the Spurs and lost on a last-second shot by that freaking Manu Ginobili.
I'll take your word for it.
I got up the next day. I drove to meet her. I stayed out in Gwinnett County. I drove to meet her at a coffee shop in like Logansville or something.
That's where their thing was.
And it was at a Barnes & Noble, I think. Maybe a Books A Million, but I think a Barnes & Noble. And it was a coffee shop. And we got coffee, and we sat down, and we talked for more than 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I walked out of there. She could not have been more charming, Beverly Nkemdiche. And I walked out of there, and I called you, and I don't think I got you right away. And I sent you a text that said, call me ASAP. And you did, like seconds. And I said, I think we have a story. And you're like, what?
Well, we knew we had a story, but
yeah. And I said, no, I think we have like a now story, because we had intended.
It was going to be the big long form takeout on Robert Nkemdiche, is what it was.
And I said, I think we need to sit down and start now.
And it was writing and editing all day long.
Yeah, I said, he's going to Ole Miss. And you're like, wait, what? And I said, well, unless his mother is just lying to me, and she's not.
Yeah, I think your exact wording, best I remember, is Denzel Nkemdiche's on the roster, right? I said, yes. He goes, he's going to Ole Miss. I don't care if Denzel was at Memphis, he'd be going to Memphis.
Yes, and I firmly believe that. If Denzel had been playing at Central Michigan, I think Robert Nkemdiche would have been a Chippewa. I do. I believe that firmly. I do. Clemson had no chance because Clemson pushed for his commitment with the family not there. It was over. She liked Nick Saban, but Denzel wasn't at Alabama. And she did not want to go to a game where her boys played against
She was in Nigeria. She only came home occasionally. She needed to see everybody in one place when she came home.
And she did not like the idea of her two boys playing against one another, unless it was in the NFL.
Yeah.
She did not like it. It was not going to happen. And it was very clear. Nothing, Dr. Nkemdiche, if you're listening, I'm sorry. It was no doubt who wore the pants in that family from a decision-making standpoint. And Robert was going to Ole Miss.
And everybody kind of knew that. Because of that, I think Robert gave Ole Miss that surge of momentum that was very much needed early in the process, throughout the middle of the process. And then, I mean, again, think about this. Treadwell was the first one to go public. I mean, you went up there. He was the first one to put name online. And even though everybody knew about Robert, Laquan, number 5 player in the country, number 1 wide receiver in the country, he jumped in the boat.
Yeah, that was the more nervous trip.
Not knowing for sure.
It was 95%. We had all this content prepared.
But, I mean, he says, I'm going to Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and there was the guy that messed with me that day when I got there that goes, who do you cover? I said, I cover Ole Miss for Rivals, blah, blah, blah. He goes, oh, I wonder why you came. I was like, wait, what? He goes, he's going to Oklahoma State. And I thought, well, looks like I'll be writing for CowboyIllustrated.com this afternoon. But okay.
Go Pokes.
I didn't have, I said, most of my content's kind of built around him going to Ole Miss. And then I got a call from someone at Ole Miss like an hour, not even an hour, a minute before. I was down waiting. The announcement was going to start. I said, are you there? And I said, yeah. Like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, you're getting him, right? And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, whew. I mean, no more games, right? You're getting him.
What? That would have been like Cod Madden times 8,000.
Yeah.
Just exponent. Yeah. On top of that.
Yeah, because that was just a drive.
Yeah. LaPonta.
Yeah. You walked into that gym and you could feel it. You're like, oh, we can leave now.
So what's your answer?
Did I even let you finish yours?
Nah, close enough.
Nakobe would be bigger.
Really?
Yeah.
If
If
Doesn't have to lead to others, though.
Yeah, but I think it would. It might not right away, but it would in a year.
Oh, you think Nakobe has a year worth of power to him?
Yeah.
Do you really?
5-star kid from Mississippi. Mississippi doesn't produce many 5-stars. Whether it should or shouldn't is another debate, but it doesn't.
There hasn't been a defensive 5-star in the state since C.J. Johnson. Oh, no, Jeffrey Simmons. Sorry. There hasn't been a linebacker 5-star since C.J. Johnson.
Nakobe, his personality, from what I've seen and heard,
Bright kid.
has a lot of gravitas to it.
Yeah.
I think he's the kind of kid I would say this about Nakobe Dean. He would walk onto that roster and be the second most high-profile player on the roster from day one.
Really?
Behind only Matt Corral. Who else on that roster would have more
Q rating, if you will.
Q rating? Yeah, it's best. No, that's the right word. I mean, I can't think of anybody. I've done this in my mind, and I mean, all the other guys are gone. By the way, congratulations to Greg Little. He declared yesterday he's going to be a great pro.
Yeah.
AJ's gone. Greg's gone. DK's gone.
Jordan's gone.
Yeah. Matt's the quarterback. I can't think of anybody other than Matt. But possible, maybe Scotty Phillips, probably not. I mean, Scotty's a nice kid and stuff, but
because he wasn't a high school prospect, nobody feels like they know Scotty Phillips.
Right.
He's just sort of a dude. He's good. They like him, but he's just a dude.
Yeah, no, Nakobe Dean would be a star. He walks onto the campus as a star. And I don't know whether that appeals to him or not. I've asked Russell that before, and Russell really didn't know. And Russell's talked to Nakobe a lot. You know, does he want to go to a place like Alabama or Georgia where he's walks into a stable of great linebackers? Or does he want to go someplace where he walks onto the campus and says, hey, you're a big part of our program, I mean, right now? And I don't know the answer to that. Different kids are different ways. There's not a right or wrong way. I mean, if he were to say privately, man, that's not what I want, I wouldn't fault him for that. I get it.
Robert Nkemdiche flakes out in the last week and signs with Alabama. Do they keep Treadwell and sign Tunzel? They get Connor. I'm not worried about that. The other two.
Yeah.
Does Tunzel still sign?
It's 50-50. Would have changed the game, for sure. Robert made it easier for those kids to jump on board.
Yeah. Put Ole Miss in that category where it was just accepted.
Yeah. It's the great what if. What if everybody just stays silent, goes on about the business of recruiting? What does the 14 class look like? What does the 15 class look like?
16 class was good.
16 class was good. Could have been better.
Yeah.
Still missed out on a bunch of kids.
Yeah. Late fall-offs every other year.
Yeah.
The Peyton Barbers, the Elijah Daniels, the dudes.
Yeah.
Amazing. I just named a lot of Auburn players.
Even in that 13, amazing. Amazing in that 13 class, as much as we remember it as being,
Jermaine Whitehead.
Yeah, was he 13?
No, I don't know what year he was.
Earlier.
Was he earlier?
He's still in the league.
Is he really?
Yes.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Didn't know that.
Yep.
Really bright kid, by the way.
I enjoyed getting to know Jermaine Whitehead. And was this is where, for example, Russell would have covered Jermaine Whitehead and thought, Jermaine Whitehead's Ole Miss or State. Because that's what I thought, and I grew up here. And then when he ends up at Auburn.
Free safety for the Cleveland Browns right now.
Yeah, he's still playing in the league.
Out of Amanda Elsie.
Yep.
Yeah, he was way before, but.
He was a Houston Nut era.
He was a 2011 signee.
Yeah.
He was in the same class with would that have been the same class with CJ and Nick and all them and Dante? Or was that still one after them?
It's a good question, Chase. For whatever reason, it feels like he was a year earlier than those guys, but I could be wrong. So if you're yelling at me right now in radio podcast,
well, and CJ wasn't the same year as the other ones, was he?
CJ was a 12, right?
No, he was definitely before 12.
So Jermaine Whitehead was in the same class with CJ. So Dante Moncrief and them came a year after CJ.
I'll look it up in a minute. I don't know. It's all running freaking together.
No, you're right. You're right. There were 11 kids because they played in 11 on that last nut team that was so bad. And a lot of those kids were so miserable by the end of that year.
C.J. Johnson was an 11, 100%.
Dante Moncrief was an 11. Tobias Singleton was an 11.
Yeah, Nick Brazel.
Nick Brazel was an 11.
Yeah.
I think
because Nick dropped the pass against BYU to start that 11 season.
I think Jermaine Whitehead was also he's an 11. He was an 11. Yeah, that was a loaded class.
That was a fun class.
We covered the hell out of that deal.
And Ole Miss got most of them.
Yeah.
In state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's one more guy in that class, but I think I'm wrong on that.
That's why the fall for Houston Nutt was more precipitous than we give it credit for being.
Because of the way he...
Well, there was momentum in February of 2011.
Even after the 10 debacle.
Yeah. They recruited
Got
well.
through that one season without it being a huge deal.
Yeah. They recruited well. They were bad in 10, but they survived it. And then recruited well in 11, but didn't have a quarterback. Needed a quarterback. Didn't have a quarterback.
Their 11 class was... it was top-heavy is what it was. It actually wasn't that good all the way down, but it was fine. Well, I'll take it back, though. Just names. Let's do this. 11 class.
Okay.
We got time. All the time in the world.
It's our podcast.
C.J. Johnson. It's 11 a class. Maybe the best class. Top to bottom, maybe the best class that I've covered. Maybe.
Okay.
C.J. Johnson, Cody Pruitt, Dante Moncrief, Aaron Morris, Tobias Singleton, Nick Brazel, Mitch Hall, Chief Brown gave him minutes.
Oh, Chief was a contributor.
Yeah, Ethan Hudson was whatever. Sedarius Bryant.
Big-time contributor.
Marcus Myers, I don't think ever even played.
That name doesn't even ring a bell.
Mikael Miller, rest in peace. Sinquez Golson, Woodrow Hamilton, T.J. Worthy, Collins Moore, Cameron Wood, Jamal Mosley. Oof.
Cameron Wood played a lot.
Played some. Justin Bell, Wesley Pendleton, Ivan Nicholas, Zach Stout, Gilbert Pena, Keith Lewis, Aaron Garbett, Philander Moore, Uriah Grant, and Denzel Nkemdiche.
Really?
It's a really good class looking back in the day.
He left.
Got nothing out of two of your top 4 stars in Brazel and Singleton.
He left more for freeze than we give him credit for. Now, the program was a disaster.
The opening day 2 deep in 12 was bad, but it was a bunch of kids. It was a weird group.
Yeah, it was young.
Because everybody pulls out that Central Arkansas starting lineup and goes, oh, my. Yeah. That was an SEC starting lineup, but...
Well, they landed Pierce Burton. Huge. Got Bo Wallace. Huge.
Yeah. So you're going to Nakobe Dean?
Yeah. And there's some recency bias there.
I'm still going Nkemdiche because of what he did leading up to set the tone for it. But the actual signee, I would actually go Treadwell over Nkemdiche if I had to pick one from that class.
Treadwell was the day that class got attention.
Yeah, because everybody thought it was kind of cute till then. It was, they've got some connections, and they're sort of in this, and nobody's really going to do it. Because you got to remember, too, and I mean, this has maybe been the biggest joke of everything I've covered in recruiting, and that says a lot, was we spent months having to kind of argue with other people in the Rivals Network and whatever, because there was that insistence that Tony Connor was going to Alabama the whole time.
Yeah.
And it kept going, he's not going to Alabama. And they go, well, he said that. I don't care. I do not care.
You guys won't believe this.
Yeah.
But we were battling people within the network going, y'all are just a bunch of homers. And then we got so caught up on that we were hearing, hey, they're really in it on this Tunsil thing. And we were like, no, come on. To the point that Ole Miss was playing basketball in Gainesville on a Saturday or Sunday or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had talked about driving to Gainesville, stopping in Lake City and doing such a long drive from here. And I was like, God, if that kid doesn't go, if he goes to Georgia or he goes to Alabama, that's such a waste of time. And we don't really have to cover that.
That was such the funny thing because everybody acts like this Tunsil recruitment was so dramatic. Dude mentioned Ole Miss from the very beginning in his top 5.
Day one.
Never relented. And just frankly gave a bunch of honest answers the whole process. If you actually listen to him and not go, well, he mentioned Alabama, that's it. He said Ole Miss, Alabama, and Georgia the whole freaking time.
And I think he was leaning Ole Miss for a long time, and because of his relationship with Chris Kiffin, and
he just needed some.
And instead of, but Ole Miss wanted to keep that so quiet that when he commits to Ole Miss, everybody's like, "Whoa, they must be cheating."
It's like, listen to him.
When in reality, no.
I mean, his first interview, Ole Miss was mentioned.
Yeah. They picked out a few kids and went after them. But to answer your question, right now the program is at this low point. The sanctions are over. The roster's been gutted. And it has been gutted when you stop and look at it. What would Nakobe Dean mean? Impact player at an impact position on a side of the field where they've been bad for 2 years. Mississippi kid, major SEC offers, 5-star, all that stuff. If he says Ole Miss, what does it mean? It means a lot. What does it do for Matt? I think it buys. It's why I keep saying this. It's going to become repetitive, I know, but when you do a podcast every day, that's just part of what happens. If you are going into the 2019 season basing everything on nothing but wins and losses, I don't see how you're going to ever come out of it pleased. And you're going to come out of it wanting to fire everyone. My opinion. If I'm wrong, great. Good for you guys. That means that you won a bunch of games that I didn't think you'd win, and kudos. Awesome. But if you go into that season going, I just want to see what the product looks like, what recruiting looks like. Because you won't be recruiting with question marks anymore. You'll be just recruiting. And if you have a kid like Nakobe Dean on campus playing linebacker for you, even if you're a 4-8 football team, but you're improving over the course of time with this new defensive coordinator and what I presume will be some a new look defensive staff and a new look defense, and you start improving and improving and improving, and you can build on those kind of kids, then I think it's a different deal. So I would say Nakobe Dean. I know what Robert got them. He got them all that publicity on signing day that they won't. Nakobe Dean's not going to bring the ESPN cameras to Oxford. But from a grassroots, what does it mean to the program? I think he's bigger.
It's interesting. Move on in 1 second. We'd like to say I appreciate a couple of you that took advantage of the blow-dry bar yesterday, already after our first day. I know a couple guys called in for gift certificates because you mentioned Rebel Grove in the podcast. You get a discount there with those services. It's on Jackson Avenue, 662-638-3310, Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 3. I told you all the ways that it can make everybody in the family happy there. And then also, I sent my wife on Saturday. She enjoyed the process. Got the blowout. She seemed real happy with it. So for the 4%, that part said everything was good. And I did notice that it stayed in place and all that. She had the charity ball stuff on Saturday night. So all around good experience there. So again, mention rebelgrove.com and you get a discount. Get the gift certificates. Give them to the wife. They can be in the stocking stuffers. You can use them when you're coming to town for a sporting event and she does not necessarily want to sit with you for 3 hours. She can do this instead. Get some pampering. So again, that is the Blow Dry Bar Oxford on Jackson Avenue.
Well done. Podcast also sponsored by Pinnacle Trust. Pinnacle Trust is based in Madison, Mississippi, but it represents clients in 24 states, has advisors in 3 states. Pinnacle Trust provides detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much more. So here's what they do. They sit down with you and they talk about your goals, your dreams, your plans. When do you want to retire? What do you want to do when you retire? Because different people are different ways. Some people want to travel the globe. Some people want to do a lot of stuff. Some people just want to chill. They want to work in their garden and relax and be a professional grandparent. Nothing wrong either way, but different ways require different means. And the people at Pinnacle Trust will sit down. They'll talk to you about that. And they'll put together a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan. They build a box just for you. It's not what the cookie-cutter financial planners do. Pintrust.com, P-I-N-N Trust.com. Mention you heard about Pinnacle Trust on the podcast. You'll get 10% off your first year's fee. We'll be at the Westin Jackson tonight, and you can join the Westin Jackson for the inaugural event, the Festival of Trees. It's a community-wide event. The Westin Jackson has partnered with Eventful, Visit Jackson, Friends of Children's Hospital, and many others to create a one-of-a-kind, all-month-long holiday event comprised of elaborately decorated Christmas trees lining the Westin Jackson halls, a holiday charity gala, sugar plum fairy teas, and brunch with Santa. This annual event is sure to delight kids of all ages and warm the Christmas spirit in all who attend. Purchase your tickets today at jacksonfestivalofTrees.com. Podcast also brought to you by John Edwards of Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. If you've been thinking about that golf trip with the guys or maybe that anniversary trip, she'll never forget. Whatever it is, whether you're thinking about St. Andrews or a cafe in Paris or Florida, the Caribbean, get in touch with John. He's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows John to supply his clients with added values and unique benefits that are simply not available to other travelers. What he does is he sits down with you and just gets your parameters. Tell him, hey, here's what we're looking to do. You can do this by email. You can call him. Tell him, here's what we're looking to do. Here's how long we want to go. This is what we'd like to get out of it. And this is our budget. And he'll give you some options. He'll give you options you will not find on your own. And you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. So call John, 901-494-3387, or send him an email, jedwards@regencytravel.net. First-time clients save $50 off their first booked trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast.
Been telling you for a while, you can let Master Cuts take care of your Christmas decorations, from lighting and garland to inflatable characters and much more. There's still time. It's December the 11th, but if you decided to make that plunge, jump into the festive spirit of the holidays, get a free quote from them. 662-607-7773 is the phone number. Remember, everything you pay for, you own it. They will keep it and store it till next season, or you can store it yourself. So they take the hassle out of it for you. Again, that's 662-607-7773. I see that Vanderbilt has hired their new athletic director today. He is the president of the NBA G League. Does not appear to have any college experience. Looks like he's got some media group experience, maybe some agent experience, and now is the president of the G League. So went to North Carolina for undergrad and has a law degree from Harvard University. So that is their athletic director.
Harvard up north or Harvard on the bayou?
The one that is in the Northeast.
Oh,
sorry,
that one.
yes.
Yeah.
Not Northeast Louisiana,
right,
just Northeast of the United States.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Confused really often.
It is. It happens a lot. That's why
How many Rhodes Scholars do ULM have?
I mean, scholars that have been on the road, thousands.
Rhodes Scholars.
They've been all over the roads. Yeah.
Highways, interstates, 2 lanes,
yeah.
gravel.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, lots of roads. My God, that's such a stupid question. I mean, no offense, but come on. Lots of Rhodes Scholars at ULM.
They have a lot that have studied in Oxford and Cambridge.
Yeah, they've had scholars who've been through Oxford.
Like you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, see?
Hey. Oh,
I know someone named Cambridge. I have a cousin named Cambridge. See?
What are they doing with their life? What's Cambridge do?
Cambridge, Neal, who is my, I guess, second cousin,
Were you named after the last name of Neal?
Yes.
Were you?
My mother's maiden name is Neal.
Oh, was it really?
Yes.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Cambridge works for a senator in Oklahoma.
Okay.
She works at the Capitol, the U.S. Capitol.
Okay.
In D.C.
Gotcha.
For the what's his name? I should know this. The Republican senator from Oklahoma. I can't think of his name. It's going to drive me crazy.
As much as you mess with Oklahoma and stuff, you would think you would have an eye on that. Just saying. I don't know. Did you know you got a mailbag question where somebody that said you could have $5 million if you just ate a banana every day for the rest of your life?
I did see that.
You would eat a banana every day for $5 million.
Yes.
You would eat a complete hand of bananas every day for $5 million.
Yes. She works for Senator James Lankford. I said the Republican, as if there would be a Democrat from Oklahoma. Both are. Both senators from Oklahoma are Republicans. She works for Senator Lankford.
Okay. They don't have a lot of blue in that state from us.
The state flag is blue.
It is.
But that's about all of the blue. Pretty conservative, Oklahoma.
Did you watch the Monday Night Football game last night?
No, I watched the Monday night basketball game last night. I watched Jazz Thunder.
I saw a clip of Donovan Mitchell talking to the media this morning, but that was all I've seen from that event.
They're not playing well right now, the Jazz.
He seemed frustrated.
Yeah. That was back-to-back. They lost both ends of the back-to-back. Didn't play well in either game. They'll be fine. But right now, they're not a really good team at this moment. And the Thunder are playing pretty well.
Seahawks firmly back in the playoff picture now at 8-5. They beat the Vikings 21-7 last night. I'm really hoping for Seahawks Rams Part 3, just so my brother can have 8 coronaries during the middle of this game. So because everybody, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, whomever get all the thing. No one hates each other more than the Rams and the Seahawks.
This is not meant to be a hot take, what I'm about to say. But if I'm a Rams fan, I'm nervous right now. And I'll tell you why. They laid an absolute egg in the playoffs last year.
They did. Played terrible.
And I know it was cold the other night. I get it. But running games typically don't get shut down in the cold. And I realize that the running game gets shut down when you can't throw. But when you play the Rams, defensively, you have to respect the pass at all times. They didn't look, and it was one game, and one game's happened. The Saints had one of these against the Cowboys, but now we look back and we're like, yeah, the Cowboys are pretty good. And we might look back and go, but the Bears are pretty good.
Well, the Rams at no point deserved to win the game. They just looked inept for most of that game on Sunday night. The Saints, at least, they had the ball twice to go win the game late. As bad as they looked, you almost came out of that go, that's about as bad as we can possibly play. And Breeze got the ball to go 80 yards to win the thing at the end, on the road on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Good enough. They look like crap for a half, then the Saints end up covering the game easily on Sunday against the Buccaneers.
If I'm a Rams fan, I'm concerned. That's all. Not a big deal. The knocks on Goff coming out of the draft were, one, he has small hands, all jokes aside. And two, he has a smaller body, and he doesn't play particularly well in cold. Now, they're going to play games in L.A., or New Orleans in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans will be 72 and dry, and L.A. will probably be 70-something and dry.
Yeah.
Probably isn't going to be a big deal. But they were bad in the playoffs last year.
At home.
And they're probably going to have to play a team like Chicago or Seattle.
Physical, makes it kind of ugly.
You're going to still have to block that Bears front seven, which is nasty. They're really good. Mack and Floyd and Smith, and they're good. And that secondary makes plays. I don't know. If I'm a Rams fan, I'm just worried a little.
The Bears have a good schedule to finish, and they need to finish well because they need – just because they play the same kind of game, I feel like they need to avoid Seattle in the first round. They need to play the Carolina or the Minnesota, whoever that's going to do that different game that they can kind of get to the quarterback. Because that's a Seattle-Chicago playoff game could be one of those ugly 10-7 things that gets weird.
And a Trubisky interception kills you.
Yeah.
And God knows he throws them. I don't know. We'll see. I think a Bears-Rams divisional playoff game in L.A., I would pick the Rams, but if I'm the Rams, I'm a nervous wreck about it.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why if you're the Saints or the Rams, that one seed's so important. You don't see the Bears until the NFC Championship game.
In all seriousness, a weekend where the NFC semifinals were Cowboys at Saints, Bears at Rams. Count me in. I mean, give me a TV.
Yeah. Well, because you're also probably getting Chargers at Chiefs.
Yeah.
And then whatever else is in that
Patriots
thing.
at...
Well, no, it'd be Patriots, Chargers, and then it'd be Chiefs against whomever else.
Texans?
Oh, yeah, they're still in this thing, too. Yeah. They've won 10 in a row or some crap.
They lost the other day. Yeah. They're good. That's why I told you that Colts-Texans game the other day was sneaky good. kind of fun to see Andrew Luck healthy because he's really talented. And
Well, as a football fan, you deserve to see what he looked like healthy. I mean, he had such a long road, and I mean, it was.
I think he's here for good guys, and from all accounts, he's a good guy. It's kind of fun. NFL's good, man. I mean, breaking.
Seattle won a game by 2 touchdowns last night where Russell Wilson went 10 of 20 for 72 yards.
They're dangerous.
10 of 20 for 72.
He's a really good coach. They put together really good plans. And if they don't just F it up, they're nasty. And defensively, they're a good team. They'll muck up a game. And Wilson can beat you on a given drive. He can play like crap for 3 quarters and then beat you. They've been there, done that. That makes them scary. That's why I'm not ready to go, oh, yeah, Kansas City, man, they're heading to the Super Bowl.
No.
Mahomes going to get in a playoff game, and it's going to be a different deal. He's had a great season. Oh, my gosh, he's had a great season. But that playoff deal's different.
He's on pace for over 50 touchdowns. People that throw more than 50 touchdowns in a season, Peyton Manning. That's it. Peyton Manning,
yep.
One.
No, Mahomes has had a special season, just a special season. Guy's been great. What a great story.
Is he or Breeze your MVP right now?
Right now, this moment, I would have to say I got to watch the last 3 weeks. Too close to call.
Okay.
I couldn't pick because I could make a case for either one of them.
Mahomes has more yards, more touchdowns, also a lot more picks.
Yeah.
They both have the 1 seeds in their respective conferences.
Yeah, I would not be able to vote right now.
It'd be a very difficult vote right now.
It would, because I can make a very compelling argument for either one of them.
Yeah. Writers tend to normally give the veteran the edge, but I sense a little bit that writers would cede more with the young pup in this year for some reason.
He's fun. He's a fun story, and then yet Breeze is such a good guy.
So
it's everybody the writers like both of these guys. They're both good with media.
His personality, if they were not both good, would turn this thing in a heartbeat
sure.
and be done.
If one of these guys was an absolute prick to the media, the other guy would win.
Yeah.
But media likes both of these guys. Drew Brees is a saint of a guy, pardon the pun. And Mahomes is this funny kid who has this funny voice and is kind of humble, and football's fun. And he does the no-look pass the other day where he hits the guy in stride, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, he said he started that at Texas Tech because Simonek, the Texas Tech, was the scout team quarterback and did it one day against the defense or whatever. Mahomes was like, oh, like that's new. That's kind of different. Yeah, let's do that now.
Football's fun.
Yeah, so he started playing around with it and whatnot, and here we go, I guess.
I love the guys who come back and go, you can't do that in the NFL. It's like, just let sports be fun occasionally. Can we just let it be fun just here and there?
Could you tell me what the first bowl game is of the year?
I know it's Saturday.
Yeah.
Because I need to do the bowl thingy.
There are a lot of bowls Saturday, actually.
Yeah, we've got to get started. No, I don't. I couldn't tell you. Is it the Poinsettia Bowl thingy?
I don't even know the name of the bowl. I just know the team's playing. That's what I was looking for.
Okay, who's in it?
North Texas and Utah State. They start bowl season.
No, I don't know.
Both have had interesting off seasons to this point with coaching search stuff.
North Texas is
Latrell's
one of the big winners.
keeping their coach.
North Texas is one of the big winners of the coaching carousel.
One of the big losers, just from the way it looks, is Hartwell at Utah State because Gary Anderson gets that job back because basically boosters would not let Hartwell make a run at Dave Aranda.
He was making a run at Aranda. He was making a run at
Rich Rodriguez.
Yeah. He had a bunch of guys lined up.
He was trying to hire a dude, and
he's turned that into a hey, this isn't the worst job, kind of attractive. And then he gets one booster who apparently swings one of the biggest sticks. Did it, and the president of the university basically
gave in.
Was with Hartwell to a certain point, and then she, I think, just said, money talks.
Bringing back Gary Anderson.
When you maybe were about to get Dave Aranda.
I mean, if you're Hartwell,
it's tough.
And he's in a gig where some past ADs at Utah State have gone on to some decent things. I mean, it is one of those, nobody thinks about it, but it's kind of a catapult situation there at Utah State. And, yeah, the bowl game's on Saturday for anybody interested for whatever reason that you feel the need. Alcorn State does play in a bowl game Saturday against North Carolina A&T if you're interested.
Okay.
And then North Dakota State plays South Dakota State in what I'm assuming is a playoff game.
Will he coach that
on
game?
Friday night?
Even though he took the Kansas State job?
I don't know. See how pissed they are, by the way? Kansas State fans livid.
That they hired him?
Livid, yeah.
Because they wanted the guy from Memphis.
Mike Norvell, who, once again, loves his Tigers.
For those of you who don't think there's something there.
There's something there.
I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Well, what is it if you know what it is? Well, I'm not going there. I like being able to pay my bills.
So the guy at North Dakota State inherits a monster. They've been good before him, obviously. He was, from what I've read, I read the Kansas City or one of the papers. I don't know. I don't know exactly who covers them the most, but anyway, I read one of them this morning about how the AD and that guy have been tight for years. Really, whatever. 61-6, 3 national titles at North Dakota State, and the columnist made a decent point. He said he's ran a program at North Dakota State that, frankly, pound for pound, is better than Kansas State on the field.
Yes.
With less than Kansas State has. And Kansas State is never going to be Oklahoma. They're never going to be Texas. You've got to figure out a way to sign kids, develop players, and be a decent football program. And this guy has proven that he can do that. So let's see what happens.
What's interesting about that is that the program in Fargo has become a popular program.
It's Little Alabama.
Yeah, and it runs itself to a degree now.
They get kids that have FBS offers.
Yeah.
Kids turn down FBS offers to go to Fargo.
They get big crowds.
Yeah.
It's an exciting fan base.
They never lose.
Everyone says Fargo's kind of sneaky cool. I've never been. It's kind of on my list of places I want to sort of see.
Okay.
Because everyone who ever goes there, like I've talked to media people who've been up there to cover stuff, yeah, Fargo's kind of neat, man. You don't hear that about Manhattan.
No, Manhattan is typically on the list of worst college towns in America.
Yeah.
And I've never been there either.
Never been there either.
I mean, a lot of times you see Manhattan and Pullman kind of in that group.
Yeah. People say Fargo's kind of cool. I don't know. I've never been. So it's interesting. I heard that the guy really liked Fargo and that it was going to be a tough pull. Now, they paid him money that he couldn't make it North Dakota State, and at some point you have to take care of your family.
But I'm interested to see what happens there. They've had 2 coaching searches in 30 years. Bill Snyder, Ron Prince. 30 years. Because Snyder was there, they hired Prince, Snyder came back.
What did you think of the Norvell statement yesterday? With stop, man! I've told y'all I'm here. It's like,
what are you going to say? You know what I mean? Or just shut up and do your job and move on with your day. I guess you could do that. That's fair.
Don't you got to go start figuring out what you can do to make something go away?
All right. Do you turn any of these even on Saturday? North Texas, Utah State.
Yeah.
It's at 1 o'clock. At 12:30, I don't know why they're not in the right order, Tulane against Louisiana Lafayette.
No
desire, even though it's 2 of your compatriots down in Louisiana.
I mean, I hope Tulane kills them, and I like Willie Frist a lot, but probably not watching. I do like their uniforms. Tulane.
Great helmets.
See, this is what I love about Tulane. Instead of going, well, we have tradition. No, you don't. So have fun with your freaking helmet, and they have, and it's great.
The white and baby blues are what are really nice.
Special.
Some of the other ones I'm kind of whatever about, but the white and baby blues are
I'm all in on a program like Tulane going, oh, come on. We have no tradition. Let's try stuff. And certain things will fail, and certain things will be a home run, and you get rid of the stuff that failed, and you keep the home runs. I'm with them there.
2:30, got this big one. Arizona State, Fresno State.
Yeah, I might. I mean, if it's on, I'm not like going to be glued to it, but yeah, sure.
Herm Edwards taking it to a bowl in year 1.
Did well.
It's been better than expected.
Yeah.
Eastern Michigan against Georgia Southern. Who knew?
No.
No desire.
Nope.
Middle Tennessee against App State.
Yeah.
Satterfield not coaching, I'm assuming?
I wouldn't think.
Okay. Maine and Eastern Michigan, that's your other FCS
Probably
playoff
be a
game.
Pretty good football game.
Eastern Washington's the one with the red turf.
Yes.
Up there.
Yes.
Yes, that is correct. Maine is the Black Bears that have been to Oxford for baseball, beat State in football one time.
That's a long haul for.
That is about as far as you can go,
Yeah.
Mr. McCready. That's
Where's that game?
That is in Eastern Washington.
Yeah, it's a long trip for the boys from where are they? Bangor, Augusta.
Don't know.
Hey, we visit with Siri once today. Hey Siri, where is the University of Maine?
One possibility I see is University Oxford Airport on
She missed that one.
Does that one sound good?
No, that does not sound good, Siri. That is not the answer to what we want.
Hey Siri, that was a really bad answer.
She's just giving you the silent treatment now?
Sorry, yes.
Orono, Maine.
I would never have guessed.
Orono.
Apparently Siri doesn't know that either.
Unaware. Northern Illinois and UAB on Saturday.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. That's at 6 o'clock. And then at 7 o'clock. No, that's it. Sorry. Never mind. Actually, Northern Illinois and UAB is not already. That's the next day, too. So, yeah, Maine and Eastern Washington is where we stop our bowl games for Saturday. So, anyway. Fun enough there. We'll tell you over the week, we went over schedules. You got a couple days left. They're December 15th, the 2018 Holiday Village. That's at the Ford Center from 1 to 5. Community markets today from 3 to 6:30 at the Armory Pavilion here in Oxford. The Holiday Ornament Auction is December 14th at the Powerhouse at 7 o'clock. You got Breakfast with Santa on the 15th at the Powerhouse from 8 to 11. Elf Pictures at R&R Cookies on the 15th from 9 to 12. Grinch Story Time at Square Books Jr. on Saturday morning. That's at 10 a.m. Kids Craft Workshop at Board and Brush at 10 a.m. on the 15th as well. So tons of holiday activities going on in Oxford. See the full list of events at visitoxfordms.com/events.
Hey, Rebel fans, conference play starts next month for your Ole Miss men's basketball team, and SEC single-game tickets are now on sale for just $20. Games include Auburn, Mississippi State, Tennessee, and Kentucky. To purchase, visit OleMissTix.com. The Ole Miss women's hoops team back in action Wednesday, December the 12th. They host Louisiana Lafayette for the annual Kids Day game at 11 a.m. Tickets can be purchased by visiting OleMissTix.com. Jackson area Rebels, Coach Kermit Davis and the Ole Miss men's basketball team are coming to see you Wednesday. The Rebels will take on Southeastern Louisiana in the Mississippi Coliseum on Wednesday. Tickets start at just $5. Purchase your tickets today by visiting OleMissTix.com. And the Ole Miss men's hoops team returns to the friendly confines of the pavilion on Sunday as they host Chattanooga at 5 p.m. Santa Claus, with less than 2 weeks to go, will be making a special appearance. Tickets start at just $10. To purchase, visit OleMissTix.com. This podcast also brought to you by Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, look no further than Grenada Nissan. They have a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles, great lease deals as well. It's GrenadaNissanUSA.com. Also brought to you by Harry Alexander. Harry is an Oxford-based RE/MAX Legacy Realty agent. Been in Oxford more than 4 decades. No one knows the residential and condo market in Oxford better than he does. Go to his site. He'll prove it to you. HarryAlexander.com. Click on the Properties and Neighborhoods tab. Filter through by what you are looking for, and he'll take care of the rest. Send him an email, ha@harryalexander.com. And we're brought to you by Oxford University Bank. OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. OUB has a commercial checking account that is now paying 1% interest as long as you keep $10,000 in the account. It comes with fully interactive online banking. It also has a consumer checking account. It's called Kasasa, and with Kasasa, OUB will pay customers 2.5% interest on their balances up to $50,000 and refund ATM fees nationwide. To learn more, check out liveoxfordbankoxford.com or call 662-234-6668. OUB is FDIC insured And we're sponsored by Megan Phillips with LAH Real Estate. She's the person to call for all your real estate needs in the Birmingham, Alabama area. With almost a decade of experience, Megan's knowledge and expertise can help you buy or sell your home today. So visit her website at meganmphillips.com, MEAGANM Phillips.com, or call Megan at 205-602-7929.
So in a few years, when Carson is recruited by the University of Florida, are you going to put the orange uniform on or the white uniform on when he goes in for his official visit?
I'll probably go with the clean look, the all whites.
You like the all whites? That's how you would dress up?
If I'm ever given a uniform choice and that's on the list, it's going to be hard to beat.
What number are you going to wear?
Number 9.
Number 9?
That was my number.
Okay.
I liked that number.
So you need number 9?
I would like number 9.
What if they don't have number 9 in the size necessary, though?
Yeah, well.
Do you show some midriff just to wear number 9?
Oh, you know me. Probably not. I would be very, very.
Number 78.
Yeah.
Sounds good all of a sudden.
All of a sudden.
99 sounds good.
99 would be good. A little different. Wayne Gretzky.
I give Mullen credit for doing what needs to be done, but he had to be laughing as this was going on.
Oh, can you imagine when he goes into the equipment guy and goes, so his dad wants to put on the uniform too? The equipment guy goes, what?
Like the whole uniform.
Like even at that moment, Dan Mullen, who, not Mr. Personality, probably looks at the equipment guy and goes, yeah, I know. Just do it. Okay? We got to do what we got to do.
I need some cleats. I need some pants. I need a jersey.
That's when you know they want that kid.
You don't think every father would get this courtesy?
I'm going to guess not. Can you imagine? I'd be like, no. Nope.
You can see the pictures on Twitter if you'd like.
I've seen them.
I know I'm talking to the people out there. Man.
Come on. Got to have some self-awareness.
There's no doubt of someone that might have lived a little vicariously through another human being there. Just a hunch.
Well, here's my thing, and not to go down this road too far, but if you're that guy that looks in the mirror and you can't see anything resembling the truth, you got to get a little more self-awareness. And sometimes self-awareness can be really depressing. I get it.
He pulled off number 11.
Didn't look good.
Well, those uniforms are pretty tight.
Yeah, those are made for fit 19-year-olds.
Not unfit whatevers.
No. I mean, like you watch A.J. Brown and D.K. Metcalf take the field, they can pretty much wear whatever they want. They've got the physiques to pull that off. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that the guy in his mid-40s who doesn't work out 9 hours a day and probably partakes in foods that the A.J. Browns of the world don't right now, I'm going to guess that you don't have the same body that he has.
I still think I could work out every day of my life for the rest of my life and never have a body similar to that. But
well, no, neither of us could.
Yeah. Some genetics in play there, probably.
You would get closer.
Yeah. It's fair. I saw that this morning when I actually couldn't sleep and woke up, and I was checking Twitter, and I was like, ooh. It's not a good look.
I need this Bryce Harper thing to end.
It's starting to get you a little bit.
It's not getting me. It's taking its toll.
I see you becoming frustrated with Cubs fans in general right now.
It's taking its toll on young Carson.
Oh, is it really?
A little. Carson hanging on to all.
Is he? Dare I say, hopeful?
Yeah, he's. You hate to tell your 12-year-old son hope is a bad thing, but he'll hang on to every piece of news that may. And he's very smart, Carson is, to his credit. He puts things together. He reads where Scott Boras says this is going to be a submarine deal, meaning someone's going to come out from nowhere. And then he reads that an owner has surreptitiously gotten involved. And then he reads that Bruce Levine, the longtime Chicago radio personality who's very connected with both the Cubs and the White Sox, Bruce Levine, sort of buries in a story that he writes on the radio station website that the Cubs ownership has signed off on a major purchase such as Harper. Now I keep explaining to Carson, let me tell you, there's 3 or 4 writers that I trust, and they all say the same thing, that it's not going to happen. I'm going to go with them.
Yeah, but he sees this guy.
And he's like, yeah, but Bruce Levine. And Bruce Levine's very good. I would feel if Sahadev Sharma came out and said that the Ricketts family has signed off, I'd get excited. But until then, nah.
What are we looking at deadline here? When is this?
I mean, I think Major League Baseball would love for it to happen this week, no matter who it is. Here's the thing. There aren't that many teams that can pull it off. The Yankees insist they're not in it. The Cardinals apparently are not in it. The Phillies are now basically publicly saying they're more in on Machado than they are Harper. I think Bryce Harper's going to the Dodgers. I've thought it for a while now. I thought it was Philly for a while. Now I think the Phillies are going to get Machado and the Dodgers are going to get Bryce Harper. Harper in Los Angeles maybe gives him the very best chance of being a superstar. He's already a superstar. I never thought Bryce Harper was going. The only thing with Philadelphia, I thought he was going to Philadelphia, but when you think about it, he wants to be a transcendent player, and I don't know that you can do that in Philly.
Yeah.
And he wants to win a World Series, and I don't know that that's realistic in the next 4 years with the White Sox, for example, who could afford to pay him $80 gazillion. So this is where it gets interesting. I don't know. Isn't this funny? This is where, how far has baseball become a regional sport? If Bryce Harper, the equivalent of Bryce Harper, were an NBA free agent or an NFL free agent, it would be non-stop talking heads.
Hours and hours and hours.
I mean, who's the football equivalent of Bryce Harper? I don't even know. I mean, he's huge. It'd be a quarterback.
I mean, it's what we're talking about. I mean, it's your Breeze, your Brady, your deal. But I mean, doesn't have the rings.
It's Kevin Durant at the end of this season if KD becomes a free agent as expected, and goes through a week of, hey, I'm meeting with the Lakers and meeting with the Knicks.
Here's what's funny about this. From a national media standpoint, or Sports Center standpoint, all that stuff, Harper's not even getting the treatment that like Pujols got with the Cardinals, Angels, and sure, it's crap in getting the A-Rod treatment from back in the day where A-Rod was what you're talking about. He was the last one in baseball where we were all like, whoa, what is this dude doing?
Yeah.
Texas is going to pay him $250 million, and then the Yankees and the whole deal, and when it blows up.
I mean, think about this. This is potentially the single most recognizable name in the sport. Great-looking guy, 26 years old. Kind of has the whole package really that you're looking for, and he's still looking at the Nationals. So you got Washington D.C., Philadelphia, potentially both Chicago teams, and a Los Angeles market involved. It's hardly a story.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee it's nowhere close to the story that a Monday night football game between two teams that are probably not Super Bowl contenders is.
Yeah. We'll mention this probably a little more on Thursday, but speaking of the playoffs and the NFL and everything else, do have a really good alone game on Thursday night. As much as we make fun of Thursday games most of the time, the L.A. Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs on Thursday night. So big game there.
Hell of a game.
Huge game for Patrick Mahomes and his quest for the MVP, as we discussed. Bree, it's a big week because they both have alone games. Mahomes plays the Chargers on Thursday night. Breeze plays the Panthers on Monday night.
Ooh.
This week, so it's Thursday and Monday with New Orleans and Kansas City.
A lot of eyes on those games.
Yeah, tons. The Sunday night game is the Philadelphia Eagles at the L.A. Rams. So we have Eagles, Rams, Saints, Panthers in Carolina, and then Chiefs and Chargers.
Well, if you're the Rams, that's a big game.
Got to get that one.
You got to get back on track.
You lose that one, you're turning on the Monday night game going, oh, we're in trouble here. This is maybe big-time Panthers fans all of a sudden.
For sure.
Because you'd be essentially 2 down with 2 to go at that point. You'd be 1 down without the tiebreaker.
Be in trouble.
Needing Carolina to beat the Saints on the last day of the season in the Dome.
I don't like the chances.
So the Saints have the Steelers at home in the middle of that, too. They're at Carolina, Steelers at home, Panthers at home to finish.
I like the chances because Pittsburgh's not the same team that they were.
The hardest game left is this one Monday night in Carolina.
In Charlotte.
Yeah, no doubt. Again,
Chandler will be there probably.
Do what? Yeah, probably. I mean, getting the digs in and.
You're welcome, Chandler. You are welcome.
I will tell you, if you are there tonight, you'll see that we don't just talk about it. We use them with a lot of our advertisers. We have them on the show for a reason, because we know and appreciate their products. With Blue Delta, we'll probably both be wearing Blue Delta tonight, wearing Dead Soxy tonight. And Blue Delta are going to give Rebel Grove and podcast people a little bit of a Christmas special here, starting today, running through December the 19th. $100 off gift cards for values of a full pair of jeans. So buy the gift card for somebody very important in your life. $100 off when you mention the podcast, the Rebel Grove. If you want to buy the gift card for yourself, that's fine too. Just given this is the way for Neal,
You
that's
buy it
fine.
for me.
That is the way this thing is going to work. And what you do, you either go by the studio there in Oxford, or you email info@bluedeltajeans.com to purchase. So you got a 9-day, 10-day period here to take advantage of Blue Delta before the holiday season. Put that one in the stocking stuffer, and you will be appreciated around the holidays. So
For sure.
$100 off with Blue Delta there. Again, we'll see you tonight at the Westin for anyone in town. And then, obviously, that will be the podcast tomorrow. So appreciate all of you. Talk to you then.